What is up? Can you hear me, Jay?
Crystal clear, loud and clear.
It was messed up on my end. Hey, welcome. It's Sunday night. It's the Eagles versus the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But guess what, everyone? It's the Sooner Surge, the nightly podcast that tells it like it is. And guys, for now, I guess 3 weeks, we have spent every waking moment of this show pretty much, outside of some other craziness with stories from our lives, talking about the Jim Knowles DC situation. And I'm just telling you right now, just because that is over with, and you heard, I'm sure, Toby Rowland broke the story. Kudos to Toby. He chose Penn State over OU. He chose Penn State over Ohio State. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, guys, let's move on. And by the way, I did say 65% chance to be an OU. I was wrong. Absolutely. Hey, you guys can all come at me. I don't care. I never said it was a done deal. I don't care about that. But I do care about the people that are going to say, you know what? Who cares anyway? It's not even that big of a deal. That's ridiculous. It is a big deal. He chose Penn State over OU. When OU is who he reached out to first, I think it's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know what? The whole thing about, and I see people saying stuff about sources wrong. Obviously, a lot of people were wrong on this, okay? And Gunner said he's tired to hear about it. Here's what I'll say about the whole situation. You cannot say this. I've heard this. You cannot say, well, you know, if they would have landed him, it would have been a massive hire and a home. It would have been such a big hire. But then when they don't land him, say, it's fine. Let me clarify. It is okay as far as defense. I don't think defensively it's going to be much of an effect. But I think overall as a program and as BV being a head coach, it could really affect it depending on who you get to run it, okay? But do not say, wow, that would have been a great hire just a week ago. And then when it doesn't happen, say, it's okay. They're not the same, okay? Now, with that being said, the defense, I don't think will be a bad defense. I think the defense will be okay. But I think what it tells me after today, and I don't know how you cannot admit this. I don't know how you cannot see this. I get that Jim Knowles has family in Pennsylvania. He grew up there. He also had family in Oklahoma, okay? But you cannot sit here and say right now after this happened, if he reached out to Oklahoma and he reached out to Penn State and he chose Penn State's right now in a better position. They're a better program right now than Oklahoma is why he chose Penn State.
And Jay?
Doesn't it sound like the money thing wasn't an issue? They were both going to pay up?
Yeah, I saw the hub put in here that he chose the money. No, according to I know George Stoya talked about it, posted something on Twitter. OU Max very similar. So, and also, you know, the word was that only BV was the only one apparently that maybe even talked to Jim Knowles. So I know I was kind of one of the ones that said, and Jay, I think you were too, but
with what?
BV had a big to do in this. And
what did I say?
He fell. And well, whatever reason he chose Penn State over OU, it doesn't matter. He chose Penn State over OU. Exactly. Let that sink in. And hit the like. Hey, if I was wrong because I said hit the like, Germ was wrong. Smash the like. I don't care. And by the way, I got something else I'm going to say about it, Jay, because the name that people have been saying, I even heard it on a couple things today. The report is Nate Dreiling. Arkansas State was apparently, Jay, highly touted and targeted before Jim Knowles. Now, I'm saying something right now. If I'm OU and I was willing to put up $3 million for Jim Knowles, then I'm making a call to 3 guys right now. Phil Parker, Gary Patterson, and Will Muschamp. Right now, I'm calling them. I'm not going to Nate Dreiling.
Hey, Jerm, it doesn't matter. I think Brent Venables will be the one calling defense. I think the defense will be pretty similar to what it would be whether you got someone else. To me, the difference is what it will allow BV to do if you get somebody that can call it. Okay. And hey, I see a lot of, listen, I'm so tired today I saw so many people all over Twitter basically saying, I'm unsubscribing from an insider, from Scoop or whoever it is. I don't subscribe to anybody, so I don't have a dog in the fight. But here's my deal. People that subscribe to those things, they want information all the time. And then when they give them information and they're wrong, people say, I'm not subscribing. Do you really think that everybody's going to be right every time on the stuff they get? Nobody. I mean, I think that's silly. And I admit when I'm wrong. The people coming in or at people, it's because they never said an opinion either way.
Exactly. It's
okay. If you put
anyone can call someone out for being, anyone can call someone out for being wrong. I was wrong on it. I thought it was.
Yeah, you were dead wrong on this. Hey, you thought your source. You thought it was going to know you were wrong.
And Jay, let's also understand something, Jay. Let's also understand something, Jay. That that was also before Penn State was even in the mix.
Yeah, and the thing is this. The thing is, who knows? Maybe OU felt good about it, and it didn't happen. I mean, who knows if Jim Knowles is playing people? They could always play. Who cares? The point is, here's the thing. I don't care. They didn't get him, guys. Period. They didn't get him. He went to Penn State. It's over with. Move on. It's over with.
Eric is always right. I have never heard Eric be wrong. So that kudos really to anyone who's always right. I mean, it's not me. I promise you that in this situation.
And
that was tongue in cheek.
And here's what I would love to. I mean, I don't know but I mean, what do you think the main reason was he chose Penn State over OU?
I said some last night, Jay.
I got a couple of opinions, but.
Well, I said some last night what was intriguing about Penn State. One, he goes back where he grew up. Two, the money was going to be good. Three, he gets to go shove it or has a chance to shove it to Ohio State, a team that apparently he didn't really like being around that much. He didn't even show up to the parade today.
Yeah, there's some bad blood there. I heard some stuff that Day and him really got into after the Oregon game. I think the Big Ten championship, and I guess Day really lit him up or something. I don't know if it's true. I'm just saying hearsay, but so don't quote me on it and say I'm wrong. I'm just saying there was definitely some bad blood there because for him not to show up or say bye, who knows? He's at Penn State. Now OU's got to move on. Where do they go from here? I don't know. I mean, obviously you hear a lot of the West Goodland stuff going to be on staff, maybe as an analyst or whatever. I don't know where they go, but I do know that we've seen this for 3 years under Brent Venables with him really being involved in the defense, and the defense has been really good. You can't complain, but it hasn't equaled out to being a good head coach. That was what I was wanting to see with Knowles. That's what I was wanting to see.
I guess from what it sounds like, what Joe C should have done is just got involved and made the hire. Because according to people, Joe C did not have anything to do with it at all, Jay. Didn't even meet with Jim Knowles.
I don't know, Jerm.
I'm saying that's what was reported today.
But I'll be the first one to say, listen, I'm not sitting here going to say everything's great because it's not. I was hoping to land Knowles. I think it would have helped BVB. Like we've seen what he's done for 3 years as a head coach and be also involved in the defense. I would want to see it the other way to see what happened. We're not going to get to see that now because I don't think there's a guy right now that you can go find to be the DC that you're going to give full control over like you could have Knowles. There's not a guy out there, Jerm.
Yeah, and I see Richie. There's Richie, the Ohio State fan. I see Mello on here. Yeah, we were both wrong. It was Penn State. Hey, Jay, I saw Chuck say, move on. Well, this is what we've talked about for 8 weeks or so?
I'm ready to move on. Yeah, I mean,
I mean, not 8 weeks, for a month, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Jay, so I see people say, as far as Gary Patterson hates OU, I don't really care. I don't care. I just want a guy who can call defense. And second of all, there is no connection between BV and Nate Dreiling. I tried to find one. I couldn't find any connection. I've got 2 names. I would take Will Muschamp, Phil Parker, or Gary Patterson.
What do you do? What do you think, Jerm? That's not happening. Hey, Jerm, will you listen real quick? Are you there? Because you're okay. Did OU go after Knowles?
No.
So why do you think they're going to go after a big time DC?
Well, they were willing to pay $3 million.
No, Knowles went to them. So why would they now go?
Were they willing to pay $3 million, Jay?
But it wasn't on their radar, Germ.
They matched the offer apparently,
but they weren't even considering it
until it happened. So at that point, you got maybe I don't know, Jay. I'm not going to sit here and hash it out the entire time, but and I don't know the logistics of how everything went down. But I'm also not going to sit here and say, well, you know, OU is going to be fine and OU's fine. This really isn't it's a small drop in the bucket. It's bigger than that, in my opinion, but whatever, we can move on.
Yeah, I don't know how much money they have, John Johnson. No clue. But it sounded like what people said anyways that they were going to offer. But I don't know. Okay.
No, Ron, I didn't cry, Ron. I didn't cry. Ron, I'm man enough to actually, you know, admit when I'm wrong, and I'm man enough to also understand that this is college football. It's not anything to do with my life. Am I upset they didn't get Jim Knowles? 100%. Am I going to sit here and say, you know what? He wasn't any good. OU didn't need him. No, I'm not going to be one of those people either. Sorry. I don't have, to me, that cannot be what, you can't say, man, this would have been a home run deal, and then in the same breath say, but it's not a big deal. Like, stop. You can't do that. Can't do that.
Well, you can say it's not a big deal defensively, but for
BV, it's a big deal.
But for Brent Venables, I think it's a big deal because I think now he's going to be very involved in the defense. So how's that going to affect his head coaching, game management, all that? That's my whole thing. That's where I'm at. But we'll see. Maybe they get it all together with Brent Venables on the defense. I'm not worried about the defense not putting up numbers. The defense is going to be fine. It's the other stuff that I'm more worried about. And
hey, maybe Hunter can drop the name and the kind of background of Nate Dreiling, Jay.
He already did.
Oh, he did? I know it's been mentioned by a few people, Jay. I know it's been mentioned by a few people.
But guys, what's the reason? I don't understand even why I put stats in there at all. Why? Hunter,
Jay,
why are you putting that? Why put that in here? He's not going to run. He's not going to be the DC, Jerm.
Someone asked for the spelling of his name. I just thought someone would drop his background. Jay, the fact that guy, in my opinion, was like one of the guys they were targeting is pretty bad.
It's irrelevant, Jerm. You're talking about a guy that would come in and change the defense and run his defense. That's not what this is. It's irrelevant. I don't care. I don't care what he did at New Mexico State. He's not going to come in and revamp a defense. It was already 19th in the country. He's just going to come in and be whatever Brent Venables wants him to do, Germ. I don't care what he did at New Mexico. This isn't an offense you're coming in and changing. This is him coming in to run Brent Venables' defense. It's totally different. I'm not saying the guy's not a good defensive coordinator, but he's not going to be running his defense. He's going to be running Brent Venables' defense, Germ.
I'm not saying that. I don't disagree with that, Jay.
And you know what? The defense is going to be good. I would expect the defense to be about where they were last year. Pretty good defense. The offense, it doesn't matter. The offensive line all has to come along if they're going to win games. So we can talk about Knowles all we want, but that's what's going to happen.
I just don't like settling. That's all I'm saying. It seems to be OU's pretty good at it. OU settles as good as the house I'm living in right now.
Jeremy, the fact of the matter is they were this whole narrative would have been totally different if they'd have just went and hired Goodwin or Dreiling before all this. Everybody wouldn't have even been talking about it. It's because Knowles reached out to OU. Yes, Jeremy, they weren't considering going after a big-time DC. Jeremy, you're silly if you think they were.
Hey, Jay.
Were they, Jeremy? Were they?
No, Jason.
Okay, I thought so.
Jason, if someone reached out to me and it opened my eyes and I thought, you know what? This is what's best for the program. We've got to figure out a way to get this. And then I don't get it. What I've done, I've already told myself, this is what was better for the program. Bringing a guy in who can call the defense. That's what. Otherwise, I'm not pursuing it. So if they think that's what's best for the program, why are we settling? Why would they settle, Jay?
And I see some in the chat, Eric and Clark, and I that's where I'm at right now. I think the defense is going to be good. I think Brent Venables had the defense really good next year. But when you're involved in the defense as much, it has to affect you being as far as overall head coach. That's my only worry is you're going down the same road you've done for 3 years now. It's going to be the same thing. Are we
listening?
Huh?
Are we listening to ourselves?
What do you mean?
We're okay. OU fans are okay with Nate Dreiling or Wes Goodwin, the guy who was fired. Okay. Last time I checked, I mean, that just tells you everything you need to know.
Jerm, that's what they were going to do in the first place.
Will Muschamp's an analyst right now. He would go to OU. Barry Patterson,
they were
an assistant
you're
to
missing
an assistant.
Dude, you're missing the whole point of this, man. I'm sorry. You're missing
I know
the whole
what
point.
You're saying. You don't want to change the defense. I get it. But
no,
Nate
that's not what
Dreiling
I'm
hasn't
saying.
even called BV's defense.
Jeremy, listen closely. Listen. What I'm saying is this. They were not going to go after a big DC. They never were. This was all because Jim Knowles reached out.
So Jay, I get that. I'm not disagreeing with you.
So what makes you think now that Jim Knowles said no, they're going to say, now who else can we get? I don't think so.
Because I said it. Did you hear anything? If BV realized, you know what? This is probably what's best, to get a guy who can just call the defense. And then they don't get him. Now he's settling if he says, you know what? I'll just go back to calling it. If he made a decision that this is what is best, that's all I'm saying.
Hey, hear me out.
And I don't want to change the defense.
Hear me out. If you're saying Will Muschamp or Gary Patterson over Wes Goodwin, yeah, I mean, I'm not a dummy. Anybody would say yes to that. But I'm just trying to tell you, I don't think they're considering. I think they're more considering just running with what they got and letting Brent Venables be involved in the defense.
Then go get Brian Odom from North Texas and coach linebackers, not Nate Dreiling, not Wes Goodwin. Get Brian Odom, who's an elite recruiter, who knows Oklahoma, and have him coach linebackers. This Nate Dreiling, to me, seems a little bit of a stretch. Or you got a guy who's been under BV's entire career. He played under him, Skaliski. Have him coach linebackers. I don't know.
Hey, and Stan, listen, I am sitting here basing it off what people in the media have said. What else can I base it on? I don't talk to Jim Knowles. I'm basing it on what people say, okay? That's all. So I don't know what's true and what's not true, but that's what I'm basing it off of. Daniel says, if I can compare, look at the decision between Sark and BV. It's been pretty lopsided. Sark has made good decisions year after year to improve. BV makes one good decision. Hey, and here's the thing. I don't know who it is, but apparently Sark and them are maybe getting somebody off the Ohio State staff. And I don't know what position coach that would be, but I heard rumors about it today. So I don't know.
Well, look, and Hunter mentioned, Goodwin's also been under BV, and he is a really good recruiter. It won't matter. It depends on how long. Now, hopefully it does matter, because if BV's here longer, the recruiting of Wes Goodwin would be good. But
here's what I would say. With where they're at right now, I'm agreeing with some of these people in the chat here. I don't know who all said it, but if you get Goodwin, you have a lot of the same staff that was together at Clemson, and they were really good. Okay, your defense is going to be fine. Here, the only way, to me, this is what happened. The only way this is going to work really for Brent Venables in a really good way, if he's really involved in the defense, is if Arbuckle is that dude, and you don't have to miss anything. He's got that offense clicking like Lincoln Riley. So I don't know. I mean, that's what's going to have to happen. I hope it does, because I hope Brent Venables.
Let's open the phone lines early. Check out the FanStop at thefanstop.com and sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. You can use code SURGE, get 10% off your first 3 months. Great apparel, officially licensed gear, locally owned. We're going to open the phone lines to chat whatever you want to chat about. Again, a reminder, we're not going to, have any cussing on here, Jay. We've said it before, as you call him, but give us your thoughts on anything and everything.
It is a lively chat tonight. I knew it would be. I knew it would be tonight.
Now, I will say, though, Jay, I know, I see the comment here, and I'm going to show it. But there's a lot of people who cared before, and now saying they don't care. Now, I get, Jay, what you're saying is on the defensive side, it's probably not a big deal, but optic-wise, the fact that he reached out to OU and then ended up going to Penn State, did he use it as leverage? I don't know that we'll ever know, because Jim Knowles probably isn't going to talk on that. But I wanted Jim Knowles. No, I'm not going to beat around the bush there. I wanted Jim Knowles as the DC at OU.
Let's get a couple callers on the line. Platone, what's up?
Hey guys, what's up? So I've been thinking about this thing for a little bit. There's only two scenarios that I can think of what happened here. One is that either the media got it wrong about Knowles reaching out to you, and that didn't happen at all, or two, Knowles did reach out, or more likely his agent reached out, but his agent, how would I say this? I need to be careful how I say this. The agent misled OU about how important the relationship to Oklahoma was, and that was either falsified completely or exaggerated by his agent because it doesn't make sense for it to go down the way it did. So maybe I'm sure OU would have probably matched his offer to Penn State or gotten close to it. And I heard that Ohio State also matched his offer too. What that tells me is that Knowles is very unhappy at Ohio State for some reason. There's rumors going around about how he had a disagreement with Ryan Day because Ryan Day criticized him when they lost Oregon or early in the season or something like that. And I don't know if that's true or not. But this is more about Knowles being upset at Ohio State more than it is anything that has to do with Oklahoma. And I think the agent probably just used the link to Oklahoma as leverage to increase his package. So I know that sounds kind of conspiracy stuff, but I don't know. That's the only way
and you just I wish we could get the full story and how everything went down, Jay. I don't think we ever will.
No, and I think he's right. His agent maybe reached out. However it happened, he reached out, and who knows? Who knows how it went from there, what was talked about? I don't know, but he chose Penn State, not Oklahoma. That's all I know. So that's all there is. That's all we can say, man. Unfortunate, because I think I would have liked to have seen it with Brent Venables having two really good coordinators to see what he could do as a head coach is what I'm saying. That's what I was hoping for. I don't think the defense is going to be any worse off, really. I think defense is fine. It's just head coach.
I agree. I know we got Chester on here. I'm going to say this, before we get to Chester. Phone lines are open. Anyone and everyone. Hall of Fame, if you want to call in and give us your take on it, bring it. We're right here. We'll hear it. We're opening the phone lines for anyone and everyone. Chester, what's up?
Oh, how you doing?
What's up, man?
Good, man.
So Dan Mullen, where did he go to? Was it UNLV?
Correct.
Okay, and Allie went to West Virginia?
Yeah, right.
And now the next guy we were going after would rather coach at Sandusky State, take a shower there rather than be in Oklahoma near his fiance.
Come on, don't do that, Chester. No.
Program is embarrassing.
We're not bringing that up. Okay, yeah, Chester.
That's not. Hey,
we're not bringing that stuff
That's
up.
bad to say that, Chester. But I will say this: Penn State right now was in the playoff. They have some great defensive players too. They're more stable than OU is right now.
Here's one thing, and I out of all the stuff Chester said there, here's the thing, and I said this to you guys in the chat today, Jerm. The thing that really, right now, you're looking at OU that kind of just stings is the Zach Alley. If he was still at Oklahoma right now, everybody. I mean, that's the that's the one that really caused all this. Is he left to go to West Virginia? That's kind of what started this. And you've heard a lot of the people why he left, and that's part of the problem. That's where I'm at. Is like you needed to keep Alley. That was an issue. I think that's the big issue there. And Chester. You can say whatever you want, but we're not going back to that stuff with Penn State.
No, don't even bring it up again, Jay.
So I think Hunter turned that. All right, let's get to Bobby. What's up, Bobby?
I think it's a blessing in disguise because I think Knowles maybe, and I don't want to sound negative, but maybe slightly, if he didn't get along with the coach, maybe with Brent Venables, there would have been some clash. And what do y'all think about that? If he wanted to implement his own way of doing things,
Are you talking about Knowles?
Knowles, yes.
It's hard for me to even comment because I don't know what was talked about. And I don't know. I mean, you could say multiple things. You could say, did Knowles want to bring another coach with him? Did he want to change his defense? I have no clue. I just know he chose Penn State. That's all I know.
Yeah. And I think all we need is somebody just to call BB's plays. I mean,
that's where I'm at. Who's that going to
be?
But Bobby, who's going to call BB? At that point, BB's just got to call the plays.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. I don't think BB's going to want someone else. Zach Alley, he had been around a long time. He really trusted him, and he still had his hand in a lot of it. I mean, to me, at this point, if you're going to bring in Wes Goodwin or you're going to bring in this Nate Dryland guy, then I'm all for at this point. Then put the headset on BV, sit him up in the box. I guess I don't know. I mean,
what type of
defense?
What type of defense does Patterson run? Is it kind of similar to BV's?
It's not BV's defense. And Gary Patterson, they probably won't even look.
It's not.
It sounds like from what people have said, they're probably going to go someone inside or someone that they know, or this Nate Dreiling guy. I'm just saying, I wish they would go look at Gary Patterson or a Phil Parker type. It's so late in the game now.
It's they're going to do what they're going to do, and that's probably going to be Wes Goodwin, like you said. And maybe this Dreiling guy, we'll see.
Yeah. All right, now. Good night,
thanks, Bobby. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Guys, the Patterson, not going to happen. Jeez.
And look.
There's Mello. Hey, there he is. Mello, what's up, bro?
We were both wrong, Mello.
Ohio State didn't get him. OU didn't get him. He goes to Penn State. Both wrong. That kind of sucked for both of us. So.
Absolutely, dude. You think I bet Ohio State's more upset losing them to Penn State instead of OU?
Yeah. Well, Ohio State's a real loser in this. They're the ones that lost the most because he was on there. But you know what? I heard some names. They're probably going to go get somebody really good. So,
hey, and but Gary Patterson's name's not in it. Guys, I just threw that name out there as a proven DC. There's about 3 guys I threw out there earlier as proven DC. It doesn't, to me, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we don't need any personal attacks in the chat.
Hey, real quick, I got to say something. Hey, Hall of Fame. Hey, you can't put content video out about us and bash our channel and then come in the chat and expect people not to say stuff to you. Like they're going to come at you. You've been bashing our channel for 2 weeks straight. They're going to come at you. You know what though? Hall of Fame. I have not said anything bad about you, so I can go strong and say I've not done that. But if you're looking for content, for your show, you might find it in this chat because they're going to be coming at you. Don't go complaining on your channel about us. That's all I'm saying, because this is ridiculous. You can't expect it to come in here, and you can call in. That'd be great. I'd love to talk to you. I just don't expect to come into our channel and not for people to come at you when that's all you've done for 2 weeks. That's all I'm saying. I haven't said anything about you, so.
Yeah, and all I'm saying is we don't need personal attacks in the chat.
Yeah, I don't like the personal attacks.
That's not what we're about.
I don't.
We've always said no personal attacks, and let's keep it clean.
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm totally game. I'll call into his show. That's fine. I can call in his show if you don't want to call into here. I'll talk ball all day long.
Yeah.
No, I've never said anything bad about you, Hall of Fame. So I'm just telling you the truth.
Hey, we don't need to do this.
I don't want to do this.
We responded twice about things that he had posted about a narrative, but I'm not going to sit here and do this. It's ridiculous, Jay. Move on, Jay. Let's go on, Jay. So if you had and we can talk about Junior Day too. We can talk about.
Let me ask you this. When is this gonna happen for Oklahoma? You think moving forward? Wes Goodwin, whoever the guy from Arkansas State. When do you think they're gonna have an announcement? Less than a week.
Okay. Timetable to me is it's non-existent at OU. It's like I can't guess that, Jay. I would hope they would have something soon, Jay, because it's already gone on for about 3 weeks.
Chuck says tomorrow.
Maybe Chuck.
And Michael, what's the call-in number? It's pinned at the top of the chat. It should be. I think Hunter dropped it. He can drop it again if he wants. If he wants to drop it again, he can. So I don't think it'll be tomorrow, Chuck. I mean, I just don't. But hey, Hall of Fame. You can come in here any day you want. That's fine. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I saw the chat getting kind of rambunctious, people coming at you and stuff. I'm just saying you have to expect it when. I mean, people have told us that you've been coming at it. So they're going to say stuff. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. We got a call on the line. What's up, True?
Hey, guys. I can't help but laugh about what's going on. I mean, it's really sad. I get it. Venables is a defensive coordinator, and I have a feeling that there could have been a little bit of difference being made throughout the next season coming up, but it probably wouldn't be as significant as maybe we would hope. Nevertheless, it looks bad for Oklahoma to be losing out on situations. It's like a clown car. I remember a time when Oklahoma was supposed to go to the Pac-12 and how this was going to be a done deal. This has been run the same way. It's like Oklahoma hasn't learned nothing, even from that time period. I mean, we can all look at nuance and perspective. It just looks bad. I don't have the right words to convey, and maybe a strong, convincing matter. But I've been a Sooner for a long time. I'm just indifferent now. It's like I don't really care whether they win or lose now. I mean, it's like it's just that bad now. I'm just indifferent. I mean, I'm just because they don't run, because they don't. I don't have any big money to say what and how things are run in the program, but they don't even look like the Oklahoma that I grew up with. And I get it, the 80s and whatnot, we ran a different offense, but I'll say this, and I'll say it as long as I'm been a Sooner. I would take Gary Gibbs' defense and how physical. When you played Oklahoma back then, when you played, I mean, brother, you can shrug and all that other body language. You know, when you watched video, when Oklahoma played then, people got knocked back. We were physical. It wasn't just tackling and all this other stuff that Venables preaches. We were when you played Oklahoma that next week, you were bad off for it. You were worse off for it after that. We don't feel like that Oklahoma anymore. I don't feel that Oklahoma anymore. Okay, and I'm sorry, Venables ain't getting that back.
Hey. Well,
he didn't get it. He didn't get it back when he was coached then. He didn't get it back when he was coached then. I watched Oklahoma back in the 2000 on the. I'm just my eyes are my eyes, brother.
I did as well. Hey, true Sooner. I'm going to say this. Thanks for the call. And I watched the team in the 90s. Yes, defense. Gary Gibbs was very good at defense. He was a defensive guru. BV. The defense was hitting this year. They lost games because of the offense mainly. And the second of all is back in the 90s, the spread offense wasn't even there. It was much more smash mouth back then.
I agree.
So I'm just going to say those things.
That's true.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
For the call, True. Appreciate it, man. Have a good night.
I mean, I agree that Gibbs' defense was great, but I think OU's defense last year was pretty good. Actually, really good, but good enough to win a whole lot of games.
Hey, Jerm, the defense with or without Knowles was not going to be a problem next year. That's not where I'm at. I just think it's more of what could that have allowed Brent Venables to do differently that he hasn't done the first 3 years. That's why I was hoping for it, to be honest, was just to see that. I don't think it's going to affect much defensively wise, statistics wise, but we'll see. Whoever that is calling plays will be just fine. I think the defense will be fine. I agree. So wouldn't call the recruiting classes leftovers. What are we talking about? I don't know where this is going in the chat. So not sure.
They've recruited pretty well at the and look, I can agree that the defense is good. But I can't agree that OU doesn't need a DC. What team doesn't need a DC? Like, I know what you're saying is that BV is going to call it. And that's fine. BV called the defense, but he's also got a lot of things on his plate too. That's the concern. There's just a lot there. Like, if his entire week is going to go into prepping about play calling, that's a lot, everyone. He can't just show up on Saturdays and call him. You can't just show up on Saturday and call the defense. It's going to be a week-long effort of things. So I don't think it's a minimal task of calling the defense. I think it's a major thing. Would you agree, Jay?
That calling the defense is a major thing?
Yes.
Yes. If Brent
It's going to
Venables
take a
isn't
lot of
calling
time.
it, if Brent Venables isn't calling it, he's going to have pretty good trust in whoever he gives that to. So that's the only thing. Hey, hey, Sixfo, Chevy, I agree with you on this. Every head coach has a lot on his plate. I agree with you. But I'm just saying that's why I think having two good DC or two good coordinators would help out in that. That's all. I think the real problem, the real hurt to me is that Zach Alley left. So
yeah, and hey,
phone lines are open. Whoever wants to call in can call in. Phone lines are open.
Hey, Jay, and I agree. Sark's been really good at offense. Now his goal line plays have been questionable on end of games. That's cost them 2 times from being national championship games. Infidel says, I get the negativity, but stop speaking negative. Well, I mean,
hey, real quick.
Infidel, all we are here for every night is to just talk about what's happening at OU right now. That's literally
it's a fan
what we're doing.
channel. It's a fan channel. Okay. People can give their opinions.
I'm not an insider. I clearly wasn't. I was wrong. I said OU would get Jim Knowles about 70% chance. I was wrong. So
I think and I think Ray is right about this. It's the O-line and running game next season, getting that going. I think Mateer's going to be really good. I think the defense is going to be really good. What can you do O-line wise, and what can you do in the running game? I think that's probably going to be the difference in your wins next year. Because I mean, Eric asked this. A lot of people asked this before. Even the Knowles, when the Knowles stuff was brought up, how many wins does Knowles get you? And that was a lot of people were talking about that. How many's like? And we were like, who knows? Who knows? Because you can't really tell. And I think the point is they're going to be fine defensively wise. It's just they got to get a lot better offensively, and they will be. They're going to be a lot better offensively. How many wins that equal? We'll find out.
Yeah. Man,
hey, I got trivia tonight.
Go ahead. I'm having a coughing fit, man.
This might be the easiest trivia maybe of the year for y'all. But before we do, check out the Fan Stop, www.thefanstop.com. Code SURGE, you'll get 10% off your first 3 months. This jacket's from the Fan Stop. Check it out. Also, the Shirt of the Month Club. Check it out. Trivia tonight. We're not going OU trivia because today's an anniversary or I don't know what the year is, Hunter, but the same day, the anniversary of the death of Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest to ever play. Okay. Unbelievable player. Just ridiculous. 5 years ago. Wow. Has it been 5 years? That's crazy. Here's the question. It's so easy. So get your typing ready to go. But what was the first jersey number he wore at the Lakers? It's so easy. It's a very easy question.
I hope this doesn't spark an NBA debate.
It won't. There it is right there. Actually, Ryan was the first one tonight. It looks like on my end, Ryan with the number 8. 8 first, and then 24, retired 24. 8 was first, though. Good job, Ryan, with the point tonight.
Hey, so Jay, OU comes out tomorrow, hypothetical. OU comes out tomorrow or Tuesday and says, Nate Dreiling is the linebacker coach and the co-DC. My first side. What a disgrace. What a disgrace to Todd Bates and Brandon Hall.
Well, I think the question is, do any of them want to do that? You know, Todd Bates might just love
the co.
They already are co-title.
Hunter's banning people. Nice, Hunter. What's up, Chester? You're back.
Apologies for earlier. I knew that was going to be a bit too far.
Hey.
But we can't get elite recruits. Well, I mean, the recruiting's been fine. But we can't get the elite guys in the portal. We can't get good to decent coaches to come here. And then everybody's saying, well, the defense will be fine. But they're the same people that complain about the 50-yard bombs that get dropped on the secondary each game. So I just don't get it. And then they're all saying, well, this defense was amazing this year. Well, yeah, Allie was the coordinator, was he not? Yeah, maybe it's BV's defense, but Allie was the coordinator that gave us, the 19th best defense this year?
Although it sounds like, according to Steve Stutzman and others, that BV was heavily involved in some of that. But I agree. Zach Alley. I wish OU wouldn't have lost Zach Alley, Chester.
Me either. But what I'm getting at is we just can't get any big names. Right? It's just showing you how far – it's showing you how bad the program is.
Well, they're going to have to get a lot of big names if they don't start winning games. I mean, they're going to have to switch it up completely. So I hope for OU's sake that Brent Venables and them win games next year, because otherwise I think you're going on a cycle. It could be worse. I hope they do, Chester. But you're right. They haven't – it doesn't seem like they've been able to land some of the guys that you'd hope. You're right about that.
Well, what I'm curious about is maybe we are Broklahoma. Is it a money thing?
I don't think this was a money
It wasn't
thing.
on this one. It wasn't on this one, Chester, according to everyone in the know.
I don't think so.
Then it has to be. It's got to be what I've been saying. It's got to be an administration thing.
Although I'm just going to say this. According to George Stoya, I saw their afternoon podcast that went out. They said Jim Knowles only spoke with BV and that the administration never really spoke with them or anything. Now, that was what they said. And I believe them. I believe them. So it's just, to me, how much traction did this thing even get?
I don't know. All I know is when football starts losing seats in the stadium, every program's going to be affected. Football pays for everything. That's why I'm admittedly definitive of them. Okay, football makes all the. It doesn't just run all the sports programs. It funds practically the entire university. Yeah, you have to win in football.
You have to win in football. I would agree with that. That's
anyways, what I was trying to get to earlier is North Carolina is not a football school, but they can get a Belichick, right?
That was a good hire, yeah. We'll see. We'll see if it works out, though. We'll see if it works out.
Well, yeah, maybe it won't, but my point is they can get names. UNLV can get a big name. West Virginia can take coaches from us, and we can't get anybody here. It's got to be a Joe C. It has to be a Joe C. thing. It's got to be.
Well, they did a lot of 3 guys out of the portal better than I like 3 guys out of the portal that they got. John Mateer, yes. Marvin Jones Jr., and Kendall Daniels. All 3 big name guys.
Yeah, I like the Jones get. I think that's going to really help.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Chester.
Yeah, have fun.
Appreciate it. Hey, and listen, I'm not going to doom and gloom over not getting Knowles. Like I said earlier, I think the defense will be fine. My whole thing with that, I'll say it again, was I was wanting to see Brent Venables with 2 really good coordinators, see if that would change things. That's what I was wanting to see. That's all. Let's get to Eric Smith. What's up, Eric?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up?
What's up?
I just find it funny. I got banned for saying Kobe Bryant was a butt rapist.
Hey, get off.
Come on. Get out. Unbelievable,
Jeez.
Man.
Are we?
What the heck is that? That's unbelievable is what it is. And I just can't believe it. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that was on our channel, Jay. Just downright upset.
Jeez.
And you know what? It was probably a different name than the one than what he said in the chat.
It was.
Because Hunter wouldn't allow him on here. Classless. You will never be allowed on this channel ever again. It's ridiculous. No, I'm downright mad. Hey, wait. I'm disappointed that was on our channel and upset that someone would ever say that. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely am.
And you know what?
Hunter's busy tonight.
Yeah, Hunter is busy. And hey, listen, I'll say this again. I see a lot of people bashing other people's podcasts and stuff. I'll say it again. I will never bash other people's podcasts. I just don't do it. Okay. So now if you come at us, I'm going to defend myself, but I'm never going to bash anybody first. So let's just stop it in the chat. We don't be bashing. Hey, everybody's OU content creators. It is what it is. You don't have to like other people's channels. That's fine. But let's just stop with it. Let's move on. Okay. I'm not going to stoop to that.
Would welcome any calls from anyone.
I would love to talk to people if they want to talk, but
it hasn't been a great call. We need some good calls. We've had a couple of good ones, but it's been tough tonight. discouragement in Soonerland. And I saw what Eric said earlier, Jay, and here's where I'm at with that comment. I agree with Eric when he said, Eric made the comment that BV will never be able to just trust anyone but himself. And if I 100% agree. So in my opinion, they shouldn't even have entertained any of this. BV, when Allie left, BV should have said, you know what? It's my neck. Hey, it's my year. I've got to do it. I trust myself. I would much rather a guy say that.
Well, I think that goes back to the whole
just say it. Just say it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to call the defense.
Reactionary and proactive. I think
how many Sooner fans would love it if BV got on a press conference tomorrow and said, you know what? I've won national championships as a DC. I can call it with the best of them. I'm calling the defense. To me, I would love that. But that's not what we're going to hear, I don't think. I would like it. I would like it much better than maybe having someone come in and then maybe having his hands in it. Just say he's going to do it all.
Yeah, and Clark says BV is always hyper-focused on defense. It's in his DNA. I agree, and I don't mind that. He's a defensive guy. I like that he's involved in the defense, but I think that's hard to do as a head coach. That's why I was wanting to see it with somebody else on there. I believe we have make
corrections.
What's up?
How you doing tonight?
All right.
Good,
how are
man.
you?
You know, I saw Trap House Boomin's video earlier. I thought he had a really great message to all the Sooner podcasters out there. Is just drop the beeps, man. And if you don't like another channel, just don't watch it. And so I'm going to make that commitment. I mean, HOF, I'll still pop in there. We'll have a good time, but let's just stop, bashing other people's channels, and I'll make that commitment myself.
I'm totally with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really agree with Trap House Boomin', and I wish the best for HOF and Jason and everything. But I was listening to a lot of podcasts today, and I was just listening to Sooner Scoop, and this hire with the coordinator didn't come here. It was so weird because they were saying that his camp wasn't talking to hardly anybody, and that included not only Oklahoma but Notre Dame and Penn State. It was just a really weird process that they were going through. So it wasn't just a BB thing where he was just barely talking to him. He was barely talking to Penn State too. And so much of it just kind of feels like, and I don't have any evidence to back this up, this is just my gut feeling. It almost just feels like he was, his agent was playing OU to up his number with Penn State, and he always kind of had the goal to go to Penn State. So my gut feeling, I'm not saying that's accurate. It's just an opinion, but I'm not really worried about it. The defense is going to be great anyways. If we even had a top 50 offense last year, not only would we were ranked, number 18th overall last year, we would have been a top 10 defense, a top 10 defense play. Yeah. And even with those, like Chester said, we gave up, at cornerback, we gave up some passing plays, but even then our defense numbers were great. Our offense just kept putting them in impossible predicaments, to where, they get a great stop, and then we just turn around and fumble the ball, throw a pick six. It was a mess on offense. And if we just had a top 50 offense, that defense would have been a top 10 defense, maybe even a top 5. But I'm not worried about BB at all. I'm excited about Arbuckle and everybody, and I really do think that next year is going to be a good year. Let's let BB run the defense. Save the $4.5 million is going to be. And I'll be consistent. Hey, I wanted the hire to happen, but the only reason I really wanted it was I've shared concerns the whole time about him bringing in a new defense, even if it's a little different. I was kind of like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. We know what we have to do this next year, but I don't know. I just wanted it to kind of, plant the flag on OSU and Penn State, and that sucks that didn't happen. But other than that, so it was a pride thing more for me. But it's like, if we're gonna say that BV and our administration sucks because we didn't get the hire, then what do you say about Ohio State? What do you say about Notre Dame? The other guys that were wanting them too. Do you say they suck now? Does Ryan Day suck? No, it's ridiculous. We lost out on one guy.
Ryan Day just won a natty too. So
hey,
they can do whatever they want.
Hey, thanks for the call. Corrections. Where I'm at though is I think the reason OU fans, or a lot of them are saying this, was because the fiance was thrown so much out that, oh, it's fiance lives in Oklahoma. And that's why people think they really just lost. Because
I thought it too, Jay. I thought it too.
Hey, let's get to Daniel and then KB. What's up, Daniel? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Ariel.
Good.
I actually am going to actually agree with what Chester said a little earlier about. I mean, literally, it really, and I know I'm not down on it, excuse me, because I said it was 70-30. Some of the people I spoke to, they were like, "Oh, we feel good," and I kept saying, even the other night, I was like, "I'm just waiting to see yay or nay." It's more than I've heard. More than likely, it's going to come, but we really don't know. But it does say something about Josie and them that we're losing Zach Alley to West Virginia, and with all the momentum that it appeared we had with Jim Knowles, that we don't get him. And that's what I've talked about the last couple of weeks with the aggressiveness and stuff like that. And I've seen some people where we're not a blue. OU's still a blue blood. I'm not going to go that far, but I do think we are ticked down. That's not hard for me to say that. But what I will ask, want to ask some people in the chat, and this isn't like to try to knock individual or anything like that, because I just legitimately want to see what people say about it. Is that, let's hypothetically speaking, next year we have a great season, not a good season, a great season, just hypothetically speaking, and we make it to the playoffs. We don't get a national championship, but we make it. Maybe we win a first round or two or something like that, and we lose. Are we still some of the people who want BV gone? Are they still saying the same thing? And that's not a knock on them. I legit want to know how people feel if it is a positive season. So that's just something that I want to ask. But
yeah, and
I don't think you did say
let's
that.
see what the chat says. Hey, Daniel, thanks for the call. It's something to pose. That's good. I want to see what the chat says too. For me personally, if you make the playoff at that point, it's things were fixed. But the reason it's questioned right now is 2, 6, and 7 seasons. Now, if that happens next year, absolutely, I think that would cause a lot of people to say, well, you know what? They figured some things out. And I would look, we can't forget it is his first coaching gig ever, head coach. So maybe he learns some more and does better.
Yeah, that's what you can hope for. Hey, we got KB. What's up, KB? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
All right, man.
All right. So I'm just going to tell you, kind of on our podcast I've been watching from Texas, it's straight optics. Straight optics.
That's what I think nationally. Yeah.
They say BV's, the question that our people are kind of having, just looking at, is so uncharacteristic for Oklahoma. It's like there's a rift going on somewhere because you can't keep coordinators, inconsistency, and BV needs help. They know that. And that's the three things. And those are all optic things, all of them.
Yeah. I think when you specifically, you say this is year 4, year 2 in the SEC, and second year in the SEC, and you got a new OC, new DC. You're going on, what is it? It's the 3rd or 4th DC, and they've had 3 OCs. So yeah, I mean that affects things. It absolutely.
Jay, and look, and KB, that's the optic part, because on the field stuff, yeah, no one's going to say, well, the injuries weren't an issue. They were, but it's these other things to me that's the bigger issue. I mean, last year they had tons of injuries. I get it. It's the hires that have been made. It's some of the personnel decisions. It's game management. That is the highly questionable part of it.
Oh, I agree with you, because
recruiting's been fine.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, no, I agree with that. But like you said, all these coaches coming in here, I think that's what's kind of hurt your development a little bit.
Well, and you're changing offensive schemes, offensive line. I mean, that affects things for
sure. Exactly that. But, and the other thing is, I just think BV's plate's way too full as a head coach. I think he's a great DC, but putting it all together is, I'm not so sure about that now.
Yeah, that's going to be that's what he's got to do this year. I mean, you just have to. I agree. He's a good defensive coordinator. Defense will be fine, but what does that equal?
Right.
Next year for him to kind of being that involved with it. We'll see. We'll find out.
Yeah, it's just all optics. I'll just kind of give you an outside view. It's kind of like, what is going on over there kind of type deal,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, KB.
All right, have a good night.
Hey, you too, KB. I figured that would probably be the national optic, probably, is that Penn State got him over Oklahoma. That'll be the national narrative or whatever. I think we have a Colin on the line. What's up, Colin?
What's up? How y'all doing, man?
Good. How are you?
All right. I just got a question. Do you think that moving to the SEC was the right move, like overall, like from the start?
This is a loaded question. Money wise, for sure, and conference wise, yes. But if they don't start winning in the SEC in sports like basketball and football that are money makers, then down the road you could sit here and say, well, I don't know. But right now, I think, yeah, that's the move they needed to make. They made it. They just now got to win games.
Yeah. So,
but they have a better chance to be in the playoff in the Big 12. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, when is the next time you think we'll actually see a conference championship? That's the question.
Okay, let me tell you. Let me ask you this, Colin. If I gave you the over/under on a conference SEC football championship of 6 years, are you taking the over or under?
Probably the under.
You think?
But hey, Colin. Here's the deal, though. But here's the deal. I would love an SEC championship, but when you look at it, did Ohio State win their conference championship?
Yeah, you're right. No, they didn't.
To me, it's more about just getting in the playoff and giving yourself a chance. Like every other year, every year. Get in there and see what happens. More so than a conference championship.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Hey, thanks for the call, Colin. Appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all.
Hey, phone lines are still open for a few more minutes if anyone wants to call in. Greg God's taking the under on that? I figured Greg God would be the over. Did I word that wrong?
Greg God thinks OU will win a SEC championship in less than 6 years, is what I guess is what he's saying.
Yeah, that's weird.
Again, I don't really care about SEC championships right now. I want to be in the playoff. However you can get there.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Playoffs. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Been a night.
Been fun. Does anyone else want to call in tonight before we end this thing?
Yeah. Phone lines are open. I'll say this. How about them Eagles? ELGLES. Eagles.
Hey.
Who's going to win it?
Josh
Chiefs going to win it?
Dude, Josh Allen, dude. He's 0-5 now. He's probably got 12 TDs, 1 interception. Against the Chiefs. He's played great in all those games.
But he's beaten Mahomes more than anybody, I heard.
Yeah. Now, hey, there was the last play that they where the Kincaid dropped the ball. He missed the guy out of the backfield, the receiver. That was easily going to pick up the first down, but it was a great defensive call by Spagnuolo, man.
Yeah, but Spagnuolo is one of the best. When it's clutch, dude. He dials it up. He's unbelievable. That's what I wish Dallas Cowboys would have went and got him, but I don't know if he wants to be a head coach again. He's done it before. I don't think he'd want to do it again. But hey,
Texas going after Ohio State. I talked to someone. They think Ohio State may hire within maybe
for a DC.
Yeah,
I heard that they would. I heard this guy saying throw everything you got at Mike Vrabel or Luke Fickell, and I'm thinking I don't think Luke Fickell is going to leave Wisconsin head job to be a DC, but maybe. And then Vrabel, I think Vrabel wants an NFL job. But so I don't know, man. You're muted, man. You got to hit that mute button, Jerm.
Sorry, been coughing a lot. Haven't been feeling good today, man. So I've turned it off to cough.
I think we got a caller on the line. Looks like it's Jason, Hall of Fame. What's up, Jason?
What's up?
How are you?
What's going on?
Not much, man. What's up?
I don't know, man. What are you guys thinking about this? Sounds like the sky is falling as normal.
Well, what I'll say again is from the optic side of it, it's not good. And
why?
Because apparently if he says he wants to go to OU or at least reaches out and you're not able to land him, and here's my point. He didn't stay at Ohio State. He wanted to leave because he left. So OU was the first contact at that point. And the other thing I'll say is if BV, and I don't know, I don't have connection with BV. If BV thought, you know what, this would be best for me to bring this guy in here and run the defense. If that's what he thought was best, then I think it's a big miss at that point. Do you agree?
No, I said this for a while though. I didn't really care if he win or not.
But do you think they'd be better with him as a whole? I'm not talking defensively, as a whole.
As a whole, well, down the line, maybe. I think that no matter what, this defense is ready to go today. This defense that he has and has built from the ground up is ready to go right now. If down the line, if it helps him be a better, time management guy, whatever you want to call it, is a head coach, a CEO type, that deal, then yeah, maybe it helps down the line. But
well, I think it'd help right away if you got him to be a CEO, I would hope, because Brent needs to win next year, don't you think?
I think he's going to have to win next year either way, except for I think the one thing that I think is negative is if you bring Knowles in, then you probably get 2 more years for sure. Unless they went like 4-8. And then
if they had a bad season, he'd be gone. Yeah.
Right. But other than that, you were going to get 2 years either way. Now, is that still the same? Is that still the truth? I don't know. I to be honest with you, there's people that come on the show, Boganowski and those guys think that he's going to get another year either way.
Hey, and there are a lot of people that think that. And like I said, some fans think that, some don't. And I know you say that a lot we don't defend what we say and stuff on here, but you can also say that when you're at the University of Oklahoma, let me ask you this. If Brent Venables was not an OU guy, let's just say he was from like Arizona.
He's a K-State guy. Come on.
He's an OU guy, Jason. Come on. Let's just say he was from like Arizona, had no ties to OU.
Okay.
You and everybody else would have said, get him out of here after 3 years.
That's right.
Oh, it depends on where. It depends on what.
I think
what
the OU ties gives him like a little leeway. When you
hold on a minute. I don't know. Well, he's won championships at OU with Bob. Yes.
That's my point.
Bob,
at OU. Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
Say he had won championships with Bob elsewhere, not Oklahoma. He had also won the championship that they won there, or the 2 championships they won at Clemson. That you would still hope that this is working out. The reason that they're giving him an opportunity is because this defense is different than anything you've ever seen here. And that includes whenever he was here with Bob Stoops. Think about that for a second.
Hey, but none of that matters. They got 2 6 and 7 seasons.
No, he has a 6 and 7 season. This hanging that one on, hanging the first one on him, hanging that first one on him is crazy talk.
Hey, Jason, they lost K-State. They lost 3 or 4 games that year because of bad game management.
45 guys also left at the same time that Lincoln Riley did.
45?
45 guys. They switched around the dang whole team.
Outside of Caleb Williams and Mario, who else was just
all the team?
And that was
everybody that was good on the defense that wasn't a freshman. Everybody that was that good on that defense that wasn't a freshman was gone. They either went to the league, went elsewhere. Not everybody went with.
That's not because of Riley, though.
Huh?
Nick Benito and those guys.
Riley had something to do with it. But
Riley left
something to do with it.
And tried to burn the whole thing down on his way out. You guys know damn good and well that's true.
No,
I know.
I'm not disagreeing with the way Riley left, but
what they didn't. You didn't lose the biggest part of that football team that mattered at that point.
But regardless, they lost 3 or 4 games they should have won because of bad coaching. The first year.
Okay.
They lost at home to K-State, a team that
they could have lost a lot more games. They could have lost a lot more games had it not been for the fact that they had a decent quarterback that came in, Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
You said you want me to come in and talk to you, and then you don't let me finish my sentence.
Sorry, I was still talking. I didn't know you were. And hey, whatever you want to say, come on at me. I mean, you've said a lot. You have free reign to say what you want here, because I know what you've said as far as we don't have any knowledge on here. There's a lot of things you've said. We don't have anyone on here
No,
who knows football.
you need to quit listening to the people that try to watch both shows and
No, I
start.
listened to
shitting
you.
both
I
shows.
actually listened to you.
Sorry about the
I
cuss
went
word.
and watched
Sorry.
the video.
Hey, Jason, one question, Jason. Hey, one question. Why, and this is a serious question. I don't know the reason why, but we've said your name maybe over the year of doing this show, maybe twice.
Dude, come
after you
on.
said that.
Come on. That's bull.
Hey, you've done it for 2 weeks straight. I'm just asking
You guys
why.
did it for
I just
2
want to go
months
back to
straight.
the
What are we
first year,
talking
Jay.
about? You guys
Let's
did it for 2 months straight over something somebody else
We
said
never
on your
talked
channel.
about you.
Somebody else said it on my channel, and
Jay,
you guys
we don't need
came
to
at me
argue.
for 2
Hey,
months straight.
I'm not going to
Hunter,
argue about it. We didn't. You can go watch every video we
drop
did.
the
We just didn't
record.
do it.
Hey, drop the 6 and 7. I can't remember who else OU lost in the first year. The second year, Jason had, and I've said this before, if OU would have made the Big 12 championship last year, a lot of people would have been a little more lenient this year. They lost to 2 teams they should not have lost.
All I'm going to tell you is that it's less about you guys and more about the guys that you don't take on at least and have a conversation.
Ask anybody on it. We argue with everybody on this show.
You don't. No, you don't.
Here's
You don't
the
bring
thing.
it
Here's
to
what I
the
know to be true.
Ask Eric. I
Here's what
argue
I
with
know-
Eric all the time.
Hey, here's what I know to be true, Jason, is that I know for a fact, because people have told me that they'll say something on your show that's from our channel, that's from a viewer, and you say that we said that. No, we go at viewers if you don't agree.
You know for a fact because you've heard it from somebody else. Then that does not.
Then I go watch. Then I go watch.
Well, hey, I do know that. I do know that.
Paul
Paul
give me the actual example of it, or what are we talking about?
What?
Hey,
we didn't
well,
do
I got
an
one
8-minute
example.
video. Hey, we didn't do an 8-minute video about you.
No. And Jason, one thing that really rubs me the wrong way about the narrative here is also those guys, these guys don't have anyone on their show that knows what they're talking about. Paul Feinbaum, Heather Dinich.
Paul Feinbaum knows what he's talking about now? About Oklahoma football? Is that right?
We've had plenty of people who know football, and guess what else? Sooner Search Chat knows football because they tell it like it is. Because it's not been good lately. Can it improve? Absolutely.
Disagree, dude. We can agree to disagree. That's fine.
I agree. Yeah.
I'm sending it on my way. I'm sending it on my way. That's all I'm asking.
Hey, Jason. Jason, kudos to call in. Here's what I'll say. We've said this all along since we started doing this as a hobby. It's a hobby. We started a year ago. It's a fan channel. You know what? If you go to Ohio State, if you go to Penn State, all these teams we've been talking about, I guarantee you there's people that are saying their true opinions on there. It's fans. What do you expect to be on here if it's a fan channel?
We're not going to change what we do.
I don't mind the opinion. I want you
That's
to.
all it is. It's a fan channel. Everybody can have their opinion.
I want people that are going to come in and be that negative from the start because they come in and say that they like Sooner Cowboys or Gray God or your guy Eric. They immediately come in with something. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you, or else don't ask me the question. Either come in with that negativity and have something to back it up, and give me a reason why that's a fact, or don't come in there and do it.
Well, we take call-ins. People say why, but we can
they don't say why. No, they don't say why. They're just negative, and that's okay. That's all right. You guys can do it however you want. I just told you that's the way I feel like it should be.
All right,
and that's fine. Hey, you can do yours the way you want. That's totally fine. I get it. There's plenty of room for all content creators. It doesn't bother me.
We're not going to come at your channel. You do.
I will never just go after. I will never just bash any other podcast. I just don't do that.
Yeah.
So.
And
guys,
thanks for calling.
You guys have bashed me just as much as you think I've bashed.
Never have. Go watch any video we've done.
I've got the clips too, guys. Come on.
Okay, find the clips. All right. Because there's about 2 of them, and it was
there's
after
nowhere to find them. They're sitting there. They're all there. You can go back and watch your own shows where you did it too. So stop acting like you guys are innocent in the whole thing.
I'm not.
You know you're not.
I defend myself.
You're not.
We absolutely are innocent. There's nothing.
Thanks for calling in.
This is unbelievable. Hunter, look, hey, thanks for calling in. I'm not going to sit here and do this. We have been classy and everything. That's what we've done. And for the comments about people in here like Gray God and Eric and I have argued.
Oh, you and Eric have went at it so much. In the Discord, you guys are unbelievable.
A lot of people don't even know. And hey, Jay, look, I was just trying to say the first year. Look, I was super mad at Lincoln Riley. You know how ticked it was. How ticked I was. But they lost games they shouldn't have.
Hey, Jason was right about they lost a lot of players from Lincoln Riley years. I'm not arguing with that. I didn't know what he expected to happen when he comes in on the show tonight, and our viewers are not going to defend the service.
Here's what I know for a fact before we leave. Here's what I know for a fact. We have mentioned that channel twice, both times in response to say we are not a channel that is killing and doing all that players and just personally attacking players. In fact, I can find 20 or 30 clips of me saying we're not going to personally attack anyone. I've said that. I have no issue. We have not done anything that is remotely guilty of anything, Jay.
Listen, we don't need to talk about it anymore. I mean, don't really have a whole lot to say. I mean, when you jump in a channel that you've been bashing, of course, people are going to go at you. That's just normal. If we were to jump into his channel, it'd probably be the same way. I mean, but here's what I'll say. Listen, it doesn't matter. Like I said, other podcasts can do whatever they want. It doesn't bother me. If I don't like it, I'm just not going to watch it. I will never just say, I cannot believe this channel, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do that, okay? So I hope this is over with now. Like, Jason, please, tomorrow, don't make another 10-minute video about stuff from our show. That'd be great. So you need content. If that's the case, we're right here for you. Let's go. It's been long enough. Let's go. Everybody, whatever podcast you like, go watch it. I encourage you. Go watch other ones you like. Please. I watch a lot of podcasts. I love a lot of them. Thanks for watching the best.
Jay, you sound like a robot, but thanks everyone for being on here. We will see everyone tomorrow night. Have a great Monday.